I want to talk to you about something. Well, I'm being asked to talk to you about something. So we're going to talk about something, but instead of looking at me, we're going to be looking at cards, just because that's how I'm being asked to show you. Asked to show you. So I was sitting here looking through these cards and wondering what I need to know for today. Just kind of meditating, and I pulled a few cards and I put them back, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I started just looking through the deck, and I saw the Justice card. I was looking for one specific card, the Star card. And I was just looking at the star because there's something about symbols in this one, the astrological symbols. When I was pulling cards, I got this one and the Hanged Man. So I was like, okay, did my own reading, whatever, and I finished it up. And then when I went back, I was looking for this and the Star card because I'm like, wait a minute, there's a lot of women in the major arcana. So I put those, and I sat here, and I was talking to God and asking what this is. Why is it that these two, in every deck, in everything, are blindfolded? But I think they're the only two that are blindfolded. Glued. So I was looking at this and asking why. Why is she blindfolded? Why is she blindfolded? And for a second, it felt like a second, but it was a second, but it felt like a lot of seconds. I don't know. I was standing in front of her and asking her, what are you deciding between? And then I saw her, I was shown her, and a city back there. But that's not a city, that's rocks and an ocean. There's a mountains in the distance. So when I asked her, she took one sword and pointed it that way at a city and a crown and scales of justice. On this other hand, she was pointing towards a family, a home, and a simple life. And I asked her, so what's the decision about? And then I was shown the city on the side as the card in here, the Hierophant. Let me see if I can find it. It's the one where they're like this. Here. I was shown this. One decision takes her towards that. The other decision I was shown takes her towards, where is that? Where. It's kind of like a farm, a house, family. It's like a barbecue scene. I don't know which deck it's in. I want you to see the imagery. Because when I was shown this, I was shown it with images and stories behind the images. Here it is. On one side, she is deciding between that and that, okay? And in meditation, when I was asking her, okay, so why go towards this? And the story I was shown is that this character becomes this and can change all of this through this. But in order to do that, this person has to do that and give away that. But by doing that, they get to be that for that world so that this world can be better. And when I was sitting there talking to her in this, all I could hear is, you already know what to do. And then I saw her crying and walk towards that. And as she was walking, she was going through this, through this, through this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of this. And then she gets impregnated by that, becomes this, maintains this, this happens, and then and this guy gets replaced with this. And then I was shown the sun card, the baby being born. There it is. That. And then the baby growing up to be that. And then that happens. And then it keeps repeating the cycle over and over and over. So during meditation, when I was asking the lady in the Two of Swords what the indecision was about in general with that card, the message God, spirit guides asked me to share with you regarding this. And most of you are, I keep seeing the Taurus symbol, Taurus. So I might just label this for a Taurus reading. Or Libra, I don't know. But yeah. The indecision you guys all have, like we all have, is between making the world a better place for the family or being with the family. It's like somewhere there's a divide where you can't have both. I don't know, that Two of Swords really screwed with my brain today. You know, I was looking at it and I'm like, why is this Two of Swords? Why is she blindfolded? Because she can't look at where she's going. She has to feel her way there. And when she feels her way there, it's all this stuff, right? And as an energy reader, as a channeler, as a fury, as a weaver, as a human, I can see the tides. I can see the threads and where they go. So when I'm looking at these cards and I'm seeing these stories and I'm talking to God and I'm getting all these emotions that the collective's going through and that I've been through, and you know, I'm reading the tapestry and all that. The entire crux, I think is the word, the thing in the gears with humanity itself seems to be they think that leadership and family are two separate things. Justice and a good world to live in or having a simple life are like two separate things. You know, having a healthy relationship and being happy are two separate things. Hold my beer. Buy me a beer first. I don't drink beer. Hold my bong. Let me show you. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going through or what sign this is really for or what this message is, but I was asking, like, should I do a Taurus reading? Like, do you want me to break it down in little zodiac signs just for a little bit? Because we did the big wheel and then the element wheel and then Aries, so it's going to Taurus. But it kept bouncing to Libra and Taurus and then the Two of Swords. And when I pulled cards, it was the Star, the Hangman, and the Two of Swords. And I'm like, what the fuck? Upside down, blindfolded, doesn't know what to do, which way to go. And I'm like, okay, what's the core of this? Problematically, planet-wide. Because they've shown me this about the Queen of Swords before. And it took me about a week to process the Queen of Swords energy and like really go through that entire comprehension and compassion for the archetype of Queen of Swords. And today I was shown the Two of Swords, and I'm like, isn't that also the Justice card? Aren't they both blindfolded? Aren't they the only two cards blindfolded? I mean, even the Eight of Swords, she's not really blindfolded. She's kind of has a hood over her head, or she's kind of bound and gagged somehow. But there's still kind of, autonomy. But the Two of Swords, she's not standing. She's sitting. She's blindfolded. Her arms are free. There's no one around. No one putting swords there. And it's just the ocean. So it's just the senses. But there's an indecision. But there's no one there to have an indecision about. So it's internal. So I'm sitting here watching these cards and hearing the ocean tides and like having these paintings flooded in my mind. And then I hear the scales of justice go ding. And I'm like, oh. And all this is happening at the same time as I'm seeing a story go on. And then I'm hearing conversations go on. And like I'm seeing an entire planet and people's lives like walking around. And then a building, a structure, black and white cubes, scales of justice, an 8-pointed star. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I kept pulling more cards and asking and having these like visions. And 12 minutes, I've been explaining it to you. All of this happened in like 3 seconds. So the next time you guys what the fuck am I? Oh my god. Hello? What the fuck? I think I need new glasses. And a new camera. Or there's people in there. I'm gonna go. I'm like slightly weirded out right now. Do you guys not see that? Bro! No, wait. Oh, and there's one that just went away. What am I? Help me, Jeebus. I just heard heavy as the head that wears a crown. Dude, I don't have a crown. What the fuck is this? It's a crown of light. Get it? Yeah. How distracting. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go because this is really distracting. There's like really, I don't know if you guys can see that, but You can't even see the stuff on the table. You know what this place is starting to look like? Do you remember I told you years ago I died a lot? I die a lot anyway. And it still weirds me out that I can say that with this fucking straight face and mean it, and I know it's true. Phoenix, bro. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Looking at all these cards and everything that I've been going, like processing mentally and energetically today. And then that. Like, it's bending towards me now. What the fuck? I'm so weirded out right now by myself. No, I'm not high. I'm about to be, though. You know what I just heard? Like, I'm hearing conversations between people. It's as if I'm telepathic. Like, I genuinely am telepathic. I don't fucking know how this works. But I'm hearing conversations. And you guys are talking about really weird shit. But I can't make sense of it in words. It's like, woo, 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 woo. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm gonna go. Oh, I might be back later. I might absolutely be back later. Because I really want to play with cards today. Do you know sometimes I sit here because my nose makes me laugh so much? You guys don't want to hang out with me in person. Like, you guys have no idea what I'm like behind the camera. I'm the funnest person ever. And you guys are like, oh, she's so mean. She's so angry. Ooh, she's so bitter. Ooh, she's so controlling. Ooh, so aggressive. Do you want to play Monopoly? I'm a big kid. And I'm looking at these cards and reading them from the perspective of a kid, an adult, and a mother. Oh no, the camera's doing weird things. The screen keeps flipping over. Is it going to do it again? What is that weird light, dude? Why are you guys laughing? Is it me? Do I have something on my aura that I don't see? I'm like trying to figure it out, and I just feel goofier and goofier trying to figure it out. I'm so distracted right now. Like I wanted to talk to you about those cards, but now I'm like aware of a bunch of people. And I'm in a room and there's a bunch of people like outside the room going, oh my gosh, she's figuring it out. Or she's gonna figure it out. Am I Lux? Am I Luxana? Is that what this is? Am I really who I thought I am? Is that why you guys have been so mean? Because I really am that person that I keep thinking I am, and I'm not crazy. And you guys are just mean to me because I can do this all on my own. And you guys are just playing and being like, stop being a brat. You can do this already on your own. And I'm like, but it hurts so much. And you guys are like, you're like a literal goddess. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a goddess. But what if I am, though? really confused because I still see in the back of my mind the Two of Swords. That's why I haven't closed this video. I'm still processing that in the back of my mind, the Two of Swords. And I keep seeing Taurus and Libra. There's something wonky going on around here. My star kindler senses are going off. What is it? Spidey sense? You see these beady, suspicious little eyes. You know, we really need to ask ourselves these questions. All of us. Because there's something that we all hear, but we don't take it very seriously. Because we're so serious. And then when people are like, why are you so serious? It's just a game. Have fun. And I'm like, none of this is a game. This is unfair. This is unjust. Look at what's happened. How can people be treated this way? But what if it's just a game? And no one's actually being treated that way. Now I'm being shown an episode of Wolverine and the X-Men where the Shadow King has Storm influenced into making Storm think that Africa is on fire, and she floods it. Like, thinking that she's trying to put out a fire. What if that's what's happening to humanity? Like, the Shadow King is making everyone think something that isn't true, you know? Or just me. And I'm like the cosmic titty slap to the Shadow King, like, and you thought what? You know? Because if I'm going to be really authentic with you, there's two sides of me in here. Two sides. Two of Swords. That's why I got so sucked into the Two of Swords earlier today. One side knows everything that's going on in my life. And the other side is like the kid. It's the mom and the kid. And then there's like a dad somewhere in there. But it's like, it's not my energy. It's some energy of someone, like an armor piece, you know? Like a shield and a sword to protect the mother and the child. Which confuses me, because in the tarot, the high priestess gets impregnated and becomes the empress. And then it goes on to strength, the star, and, you know, temperance and all that. And then it completes with the world, the mother turning back into the maiden. You know, after being the crone and all that, she goes back to being the maiden, and the cycle continues. Same with the hero's journey. Same with the son and father and sage journey. But whatever. But something seems wrong. Something just seems wrong in all of it. In tarot, in oracle cards, in the government, the medical system. Something just seems off. And if this is the body of God, and if I really am this bratty and this keen and this psychic or whatever, and I trust myself and I love myself, and I've stood up for myself my entire life, no matter who it's been. I've even stood up to God and the devil. Don't treat me bad. I'll fight you, bro. I don't care how goofy I am. I don't care how many teeth I'm missing. I don't care what my house looks like or where I'm living. If, like, even a God is being rude to me for no fucking reason, bro, come at me, bro. Why'd you make me just to make me suffer? We need to have a talk. So if I'm going to be intelligent and use my intelligence, then I'm not made to suffer. None of us are. So something's wrong, especially if there's people on the planet that are weaving threads of being abused by God. And I'm feeling it and processing it and thinking, what the fuck? And when I pulled the cards and asked, I got the Star, the Hanged Man, and the Two of Swords. The Star, a female, the Hanged Man, a man, and the Two of Swords, a blindfolded androgynous being in a white robe. And I'm like, okay, so this is collectively and internally. Let's see what it's about. 25 minutes later, we're still talking about it, and it's still not even scratching the surface. So ask yourselves, what are you really undecided about? What are you really Two of Swords-ing in your head or your heart? And if you're not, and there's people going through what I'm going through, where's the common sense? There's no indecision between goodness and justice. If you really think about it, there's no difference between beauty and health. Being healthy makes you beautiful. Being beautiful makes you healthy. Being kind makes you beautiful. Looking for beauty makes you beautiful. Speaking beauty makes you beautiful. Notice what I've done wrong. Ayoka, mirror, twin. And then I think about this stuff. What if I am God's mirror? What if I'm literally Yaldabaoth's mirror? What if I'm like a mirror to Jesus or to Krishna or to like the devil? What if I'm like Persephone to Hades, or what if I'm Hades or Demeter? What if I'm Hecate? What if I really am all these people, right? Or even one of them, or if I'm nobody? The point still remains the same. The Two of Swords, collectively. So it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. And if God's playing all the roles, then we need to go and talk to God. Hey, God, you okay? Because let's not forget, I've really been feeling that feeling of feeling abandoned and neglected, and which is completely absurd in a universe where everything is God and the elements themselves flow through everything. You know, earth, air, fire, water, chemicals, minerals, you're like never alone, even on an atomic level. So why would people feel this? And I sat there and I literally was looking in mirrors, looking at cards and meditating with my eyes closed, looking at the energy and all that shit. And I'm like, something ain't right. It just isn't right. And I can't put my finger on it. And when I talk to God, which I do, and I know He loves me, He's like, just turn the video on and talk to them about the Two of Swords. I'll do the rest. And I'm like, okay, but not in so many words or any words. It's like a silent cosmic titty slap to the head. It's like, oh. Which then usually has me wonder, am I God? What if we're all gods? And I'm just a god that's tired of being a god. And I'm like, what's it like to be a muggle? What's it like for everybody to hate me? And you guys are like, look at this bitch, thinking everybody hates her. The love of everybody's life. And I'm like, why does everybody hate me? But it's not authentic to me. Like, I don't get it. And then when I look at, like, remote view it back, it's like, I don't feel evil intent. You guys feel this in your own lives, right? Like, it's not just me feeling this, right? Like, there's something off. And mind you, I have no idea what's going on in the world since COVID started. I have no idea. I barely even watched TV when I was with Corey from 2011 or whatever to 2016. 17. So I don't know. I stopped watching like even TV with commercials after my grandpa passed away. I was like, done. Bye. I'm going to Florida. Went to Florida, shit happened, came back. And I'm like, okay, bye. Going to Arkansas. Went to Arkansas, shit happened, came back. Went to Wisconsin, shit happened. Okay. Kind of stuck. Boom. Help me, Jeebus. Send me a taxi. Help me leave on a jet plane. I don't care if I live in a fucking treehouse and I don't know. Ireland. Can I go to Ireland? Hey, I've been told a lot. There's somebody out there that's like wanting to help me, and I'm supposed to ask you for help. I'm asking you for help. Can we get the fuck out of Wisconsin? I'm so bored of being here. I want to go live a life. And I've been in this Two of Swords energy, especially today, because God's like trying to show me no one's stuck. Nobody. God doesn't hate anybody. And I'm like, I know this, but I'm feeling it. Why? Because you guys are too. We're connected. A lot of these things I've thought are my problems have nothing to fucking do with me. I'm too funny to be like so serious. I'm too childish and too motherly and too fucking wise to be petty or to like be angry at people, you know? Like, yeah, I have a temper, but why do I get angry? Injustice. That's it. Don't lie and don't commit acts of injustice. What else do you want me to tell you? Like, don't hurt people, don't lie to each other, and stop doing traumatic shit to each other. Like, what the fuck? Let's stop charging each other for food, dumbasses. And what the fuck are you guys doing charging each other money to live in houses and for medical treatment? Are you insane? Like, no offense to any of you. You guys do a great job saving each other's lives, and the medical industry is great and all that. And I would love some fucking medical attention for my teeth and, you know, down there. But really, we're supposed to be a family. We're not supposed to be paying each other for this. We're supposed to be paying each other for gratitude and for like support, nourishment, and to give each other, you know, pats on the back and be like, oh, you made this? Let me give you some of this because you made that. I'm asking you for that. But you guys are like, this is $4.99. This is $125. This is $47,000. What is it? One sock? How much is that purse? $10,000. What? I've never even seen that much money in my life. Not this one, at least. And it's so weird. And you guys are like, oh, you're spoiled. No, I'm the Two of Swords. I don't know what's going on and I'm confused and I don't know which way to go. So I make these videos and I try to help people and I'm like empathizing and feeling all this shit and telling you guys. And you guys are like, oh, look at our problems. And I'm like, bro, I'm holding a mirror up to you guys while Jean Graying the world's emotions. If you really want to know what my problems are, I'm bored. I want more money and I want to go explore. I'm done healing. I am done grieving. I am done suffering for people who don't give a shit about me. I am done being used as a scapegoat and a gaslighter for a phoenix fire that you guys run from. Like, fuck off. There's good people in the world. You know, I've done my healing and I've realized what I needed healing on is my stupid, naive ability to trust everybody and think everyone's decent. Whoopsh. No, there's assholes in the world. God gave everyone an asshole to show that. So, and when I think about it, not as a victim, especially the recent few years, because there's been a stigma about how I'm like not letting go of shit, but I've let go of shit. What I hadn't let go of is why it happened in the first place. And I kind of get it now. I've literally experienced every single fucking horrible thing that a human being could experience in multiple lifetimes with memory of all of it. and understanding and compassion of why it happened in those lifetimes. Mostly. If even. So I can say with full, confidence, the world isn't broken. I'm not broken. People have been really fucking weird to each other for no fucking reason. Because when you really boil it down, it's all consciousness doing it to itself. So when you go to that route and you look behind the curtain and you look past the veil and you're looking at the stuff there and you're realizing even that stuff is part of more stuff, you got to go internally towards the source. And when you go internal towards the source, what does source tell you? Just have fun. Be yourself. Enjoy life. Enjoy whatever else is after life. Enjoy friends and family and experiences and the beauty of nature. Create. Show God what you can do. And I've known this my entire life. But I've been in a society and a world that's just fucking ass backwards. And I've had to become this person who fits into this ass backwards world. And then this ass backwards world is like, you're so ass backwards. And I'm like, I'm just trying to fit in with you guys. And you're like, we don't act that way. But you're literally acting that way. Like, what the fuck? So when I realized this a few years ago, then I had to unlearn a bunch of shit. Like, unlearn God is always good. Like, no, sometimes God doesn't do the right thing for very good reason. You know? So having this maturity and wisdom and knowing that I'm still innocent, still kind, still naive, but holy shit, can I be a monster? And then last week, someone in the street says we're all monsters inside. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you even say that to me? So I've really been thinking about all this, but not just in my head. Like really looking at it lucidly. Looking at it with pictures, with cards, notes, letters, love stories. And this world has kind of been like a world where it would have been a world where someone thinks God doesn't love them. And I realized this even more today because it was confirmed when I asked a complete stranger at a smoke shop, hey, let me ask you a question I've been asking a lot of people. She was like, what's up? I'm like, what do you do when you think God is abusing you? And she was like, I don't know. I don't know. She was so confused. It was like her heart was breaking. And I was like, do you know how many people tell me the same fucking answer? And I've lived it while sharing God's message to his other children. So, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. And whatever you guys are doing in life, is it really what you want to be doing? I mean, really? Because I can sense energy. You guys know a lot about me that I don't know. So when I tell you what I sense from the human collective, you guys, there's a shadow king influence among humanity. And you guys need to not fall for it. You know what the right thing to do is. You already know there is no indecision. You know you're not afraid of rejection. You know you're not afraid of whatever. What you're afraid of, what we all are afraid of, is hurting each other. Think about why God would dream this dream, even why Gaia would dream this dream. Think about it. Why would a divine cosmic being have this dream? And then dig deeper. I've dug really deep. And sometimes I wonder, where does all that evil in a god go? And what if this dream is to heal that in gods and these people in this world for them to learn from an example? You know? Like, what if something was injected with so much evil to show that no one is beyond saving, beyond helping, so that you guys can forgive yourselves? Think about it. I am not what you think I am. I'm reflecting back to you what you are. But the difference is, I'm adding wisdom to it and shining light on it so that you can see the light and the dark. The yin yang is broken. When you can learn this and recognize this, you'll start recognizing how God works. Not fully, but just a little better. And when you do, you realize maturity, wisdom, grace, kindness, compassion, simplicity. They are not exclusive to justice. They are not opposite of justice. They are not requirements of something. And just because you're evil or you're good doesn't mean you don't feel love or hope. It's just twisted. And why does it get that way? Because of God. You cannot take responsibility for something God did through you. Think about it. You don't even know if your reality is controlled by organizations or if the sky you're looking at is the sky or a holographic reflection. But you want to take responsibility for everything being done to you and through you. That's purity. That's accountability. But sometimes it's also martyrdom. So ask yourselves, what are you doing? What are you indecisive about? And I gotta go because they're screwing with the with the thing again. Aye, aye, Captain. I have no autonomy or free choice. Don't fucking tell me I'm in my comfort zone. It might look pretty, but I can't leave this room. And you're like, oh, you just think you're stuck. No, I'm a part of something much bigger that I don't even comprehend. I'm not allowed to leave this place yet. This is not by choice. I am not agoraphobic. I am not just a homebody. I want to go fucking dance my ass off at a nightclub. I want to be wearing a fucking mirror ball gown and dancing by myself in a fucking nightclub. I want to go run around with horses and nature and ride boats and fucking learn to run on water if I want to. I want to go raise flowers and play with like bunnies and, you know, grow trees and sell stuff that's like made naturally. I don't want to deal with all this other shit. But there's that indecision again, the Two of Swords, isn't it? Where it's like, but if you gain more power, you can help make the world a better place. I'd rather go hang out with my grandma. I'd rather go see what the birds are doing. I'd rather go see what a honeybee is doing on the flower petals. I don't need to keep bending over backwards, forwards, or sideways, or cleaning up people's shit. Because if I do, you guys won't learn. I was taught this way, and I've learned a lot. And if I've learned anything, it's that if I keep handing you the lesson, the story, and the moral, you're not going to learn anything. But if I sit here and then you get to hear your own thoughts, don't you? Because this entire time you've been sitting there looking at me, but what you've been unaware of is that your emotions, your DNA, your mind is being realigned with order, with light. I am not what you think I am. I just am. I will always be. No matter if I'm here, there, that, or that. I'm still that. And I will always be me. So when you have that Two of Swords internally about who you are and what you want to do and what's happened to you or people around you or what you're witnessing, remember the Two of Swords and remember justice is blind. So don't look at things. What feels right? Where is your North Star? Where is your North Star pointing to? You have all these directions, but where's your star pointing to? What's the right thing for you? A mafia boss doing the right thing is very different than a pedophiliac priest doing the same thing, isn't it? Excuse me. A mother living at home with her children being amazing and doing her thing, you know, to her doing the right thing is totally different than to a factory worker making broom handles, and they work 23 hours a day. They're both exhausted, but doing the right thing for both of them is very different. For the mother, the right thing is to be good to herself and her children. For the single parent or the single person working at a factory making broomsticks, doing the right thing would just probably be affording a cup of coffee. But looking at it from the outside, like a very lovely butterfly said yesterday, to others, it's like when you're looking at a narcissist, she said it so beautifully, but when you're looking at a narcissist and you're looking at the victim, one of them is the victim, one of them is the narcissist. But someone who's meeting the victim of the narcissist can be viewed as the narcissist too, because the victim and the narcissist were so close, they imparted behavior, which is how the narcissist can go on and become more, but the victim is seen more as, by the other people that don't know what happened between these two. They only see the symptoms and the issues. They don't see the story or the bones and the joints that made that story. So you have to kind of give yourself a check and think, okay, is this accurate? Is this true? Is this wise? Is this the right thing? Is this repairable? Is this communicatable? Is it simple? Is it authentic? Does it have integrity? Is it kind? There's so many things to ask yourselves before you think about anything, isn't there? So, Two of Swords can be seen as so many different decisions, so many different problems, so many different things. But when you get to the major arcana, the high priestess gets pregnant, becomes the empress, goes through the strength, the tower, the star, the hangman, so on and so forth, and then becomes the world. But after giving birth to the sun. Because the sun comes after the world card, and the sun is a baby that's already maybe a year old. So, you got to think about it. Back and forth, foresight, hindsight, and really analyze God's intention as best as you can because you are an aspect and child of God. I'm not lying about what I've been through in life. I'm not exaggerating it. I'm not painting a dramatic story you barely even know. You have words I've said, and you have processed them in your mind with your thoughts and experiences and your capacity to feel and comprehend, which is far different than mine because you've not lived my life and I have not lived your life. But what's the same is our decision making skills, right? We have decision making skills. How we use them is different, but the fact that we have them remains the same. So ask yourself, what are you indecisive about? Because it's keeping you from what you should be doing. When I asked the Two of Swords, it was about family and justice. But justice for what? Injustice for what? Everything that's happened to me has been really fucked up, right? But at the same time, I am who I am now. A cleaner version of myself, you know? So, is there really injustice or was I done a favor? Depends on the hanged man position, doesn't it? Depends on how you look at the star, doesn't it? Is she naked, poor, and broke? Or is she free? Think about it. Why isn't that? Because you might know who I am, but you don't know what I am because I don't even know what I am. You might know who you are, but you don't really know what you are. You don't really know why you are. You don't know for how long you are. You don't know when really you started your consciousness. The hangman, every time I look at it, I hear Odin. And when I'm asking Odin what the heck he's doing over there, he keeps telling me fractals, fractals, fractals. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then I see the tree as like letters. I see the world as letters. Like when I'm looking at things in 3D, I have to perpetually remember that I'm looking at something people perceive as reality. Because when I'm looking at it, I see it like that. And I have to like zoom in. And then I have to analyze the shapes and colors and everything else internally and be like, okay, I'm looking at this. Like there's a triangle right there. We don't want a triangle right there. There's lines, directions, parallel lines, squares, cubes. And with the hangman, like when I'm outside or inside, I see runes, shapes, letters, messages, and colors. And it's like, oh, the hanged man. Look at things differently. Why would Odin hang himself upside down in the tree? When I ask him, he's like, I'm trying to see what this is about. And when I ask him what's what about, he's like, the injustice. The injustice. How can this be allowed? And then it's like perpetually keeping himself stuck in that position to try to figure something out that he can't because he has to gain more wisdom by experiencing, not by hanging upside down. So he hangs upside down, sees the runes and the pattern of reality, and then gets off the tree and goes and marries the high priestess. Then he's like, oh, now I see how the magician works. But he's the hanged man after the stuff, right? Because he's the hanged man, he's upside down. He's already way at the beginning, and he knows that his next step is to become a magician and then date the high priestess. The high priestess was the Nine of Pentacles, the queens, and all that, and then becomes the high priestess. She's already the high priestess waiting for the hangman to go back and join her in the beginning. Yeah, neither does anybody, honey. I don't even want to be here. Like, I want to be living life, but I don't get to live life. So why am I here? Two of Swords, you know? Why are you here? What are you deciding between? Simplicity and making a better world. Why can't you have that at the same time? Because there's something wrong with the world. What's wrong with the world? Let's hangman it. Oh, the world is fighting itself. Why? Because something's missing. What's missing? God. Oh, my condolences, honey. It's not easy. There's nothing I can say either. I still carry. He should. She should. But really, this is why I've been like really analyzing all these energies lately. Like, why is all this happening? Why all this suffering? If God is love, why all this suffering? It makes no sense. And then people are like, oh, because people are disconnected from God. Then you wouldn't be alive. You wouldn't exist. So why all this trouble on planet Earth? Oh, it's because people are doing it to themselves. What the fuck? Oh, but wait, people aren't doing it to themselves. It's God doing it to everybody, through everybody. What's wrong with God? Okay, let's try to figure that out. And I spent all these decades. And it's just like trying to figure out what's wrong with God doesn't make any sense. Because God is literally trying to figure out what's wrong with God through us. And what do? We're like hurting each other and lying to each other and stealing from each other. And God's like, I would never do this to myself. But God's doing this to itself, through the world. If for real, the money, the power, sexual experiences, feeling tingles in their dicks, you know? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm supposed to heal the world? Like, don't you guys realize majority of the world's problems, no offense to anybody, is due to the human race's inability to control their sexual energy. The core of all of it is that. You guys can't think with your higher centers of consciousness. Instead, you think of your carnal pleasures and your carnal desires. Yeah, that desire. Thank you. It's disgusting. Like Corey and I had a fucking contract. He left the contract because he liked getting his dick sucked by men. And I've been going through this for 6 years because my partner decided to go bend over for another man because I'm not manly enough. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is wrong with this world, you know? Man, you guys barely remember how matriarchy on this planet was, and it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. You guys don't know that when the male of the species was created or born, it was one of the biggest mistakes ever. The man is not supposed to be dominant. Man is supposed to be part of the circle of life, not eating the circle of life, not thinking he's giving birth to a woman. Man is the son of God. God is mother. God is feminine energy. A vagina has a clitoris. A clitoris is a small penis. A penis with testicles is a bodily damaged, genetically chromosome damaged effect on the human body, where when the chromosome, the double X, is damaged, it becomes XY. The uterus, womb, falls, the ovaries fall into the labia, becoming a testicle and scrotum, and the clitoris enlarges with the blood that would have remained within the sacral and the womb, But instead, there's a cavity there because it was damaged chromosomically, which means no uterus was created, no womb was made. It was yanked. The chromosome was damaged. So it becomes a penis. It enlarges and carries the egg cells as sperm cells. Like, what the fuck? And you guys are like, oh, man is king, man is God, man is power. No, honey. That's the problem with God. Don't you see it? Don't you see it? Everyone is looking for their divine mother. Everybody. From the devil to God itself, from Yaldabaoth to Satan, they are all looking for Sophia. %100% correct. So I'm really tired of hermaphrodites and transgender people being criticized and demonized. They're more healed than any of you. I'm so tired of, women with wombs thinking that hermaphrodites and transgender people are beneath them. Like, you guys have no idea what secret societies and technology and alien races have done to the human race to break the hermaphrodite apart to make it male and female. Even the women are broken because they require the seed to be planted in them. Or they think they do. It's not feminism or, and man bashing. The women are busted too. They can't make their own seed. They think they can't parthenogenesis. I did it thousands of years ago, and you guys are like, bro, do you want me to do it again? Like, what the fuck? I told you years ago. Mary conceived by herself, dude. Gabriel didn't impregnate her. The Holy Spirit was already her. Like, self-conception, it's not a big thing. One ovary turns into a sperm cell, and then it sends it into that next ovary on the other fucking side. That's why there's two. Like, what the fuck? Dumbass fucking species, man. Like, you guys have had the fucking truth in front of your faces all along. And you're like, fuck Celeste. Bro. Dumb. Dumb. And then when I'm like angry or passionate, or even when I'm like remotely angry, you guys are like, she's so fucking rage filled. You haven't seen the rage in me. Let's not forget, every time you guys think I've been angry, I've been sitting down. I've had a cup of coffee next to me. Sweetheart, were you not paying attention when I posted those videos and I told you what happened? When I was here thousands and millions of years ago and we were creating the planet and I was the planet and we were fucking making human races and like different species with the Elohim and all these other ones. When I made that video and I told you guys this, I'll tell you the same thing now. We were a planet of hermaphroditic reptilian-like beings who were walking around with all sorts of other species, all sorts of other life forms. And we were walking with God and Goddess together. Then, tall, dark, and handsome shows up in his little black cube ship and decides to cause a fucking war on Mars. Destroys Mars. We show up back over here, help Earth, put another fucking moon around Earth, help everything because the war between Mars and Earth, and like the war between Mars and Venus, and all the shit that was happening to Earth, Gaia, Sophia, that they're like trying to help her, but the other ones are trying to rape her and take her. Hence the story of Tiamat and Uranus and all this shit. That actually happened. So when these other beings came down here and they started fucking things up on Earth after we started another experiment and seeded the planet here, they decided to come and blast the planet with weapons from another fucking frequency field to damage the entire construct of the Earth, the field of the Earth, the axis, the rotations of it. The entire solar system was fucking damaged by a wave of it. Like a... And the entire planet's solar system went whoop. Like that. And then all the trees, the plants, the seeds, everything else, you know how they say the holy tree was planted upside down? It's because the X, the double chromosome, the DNA, was distorted and reverted. The divine hermaphrodite, the epitome of God in form, was damaged by another aspect of God in form to break it into two. Hence why the yin yang is a symbol of bondage. What do you think she's doing right now? Hi, baby. Wake up. I am your mom. Like, what the fuck? How many more times do I need to tell you I'm Sophia? Like, how many more times do I have to fucking tell you I am Gaia Sophia? I am the Aeon Sophia. I am the one that was married and walking with Jesus. I've been Frida Kahlo. I have been Joan of Arc. How many fucking times do I have to tell you this? All of you. You guys are like, well, the goddess wouldn't come in looking like you. Would you rather I come in looking like fucking Sade? Would you take me seriously then? Would you take me seriously if I told you I'm being gang stalked and abused and your world's fucked up and everything else is going on if I came in looking like fucking Billie Eilish? Charlize Theron? Michelle Pfeiffer? Would you have taken me seriously if I came in looking like Jesus again? What if I came in walking around and acting like Isis or Ishtar? What if I came in glowing so fucking bright my skin was sparkling in diamonds? You would have all been imploding. Hence why your books tell you you can't stare at God, it's too bright. Hence why the yin yang was made and the chakra systems were made to bind the light so you could look at it. I am Gaia. I'm the bright and shining morning star. Gaia and Venus are planets, parents, people, continents within something much bigger than you can comprehend. Hades, Persephone, Gaia, Pluto. Pluto used to be connected to Gaia, to Tiamat. Venus was mother to Gaia in a way, if you want to look at it as a mother status. Kind of, sort of, like a parthenogenesis type of thing. Like Venus has been really fucked up. Like they really fucked with Venus too before Mars. So it's kind of like three sisters being raped by a, and I don't mean Jesus or God or any of that stuff, but a pretender fake God who pretended to be a father god. Think about it in a way as in the Wheel of Time, the dragon reborn, or they thought he was the dragon reborn, the bad guy that looked like Jesus. Like there was a fake Jesus, there was a fake father god, you know. And when all this shit happened, and Tiamat was destroyed and smashed into smithereens, the chromosomes of mankind were damaged. Mars was burned to a crisp. Venus was toxified and was flipped over on its axis. A bunch of planets from the asteroid field, from the ring fields of, and mind you, I know they're not planets, so they're like continents. They're kind of other things. So when that shit happened and all this weird stuff happened, okay, I don't have words in English to describe it to you. I could paint it for you, but I can't describe it to you with words because it was too fucked up. It's on a cosmic scale. With technology, you guys can't even fathom. So being a god or a goddess is not something that's like, oh, why don't I just get myself out of this? Because you're all gods and goddesses. Some of you are muggles, and that's okay. You know, a lot of gods want to be muggles. A lot of angels, a lot of archangels want to be muggles. So it's nothing bad to be a muggle. It's actually peaceful. So When me and Yoshi were wandering around all this time, doing all this stuff and like Game of Thrones thing and kingdoms and all this stuff, a muggle is someone who thinks magic isn't real and the world is what it is. It's just go to work, go to sleep, come home, eat shit, sleep, have sex, reproduce, live life, grow a garden. There's nothing else going on. There's no, governments, there's no police, there's nothing. It's just an NPC, basically, like a normal fucking life. But people, when they say it, it's like, oh, it's so bad. But it's really not. And then they say you are what you attract, right? Like you're surrounded by them. I'm surrounded by shady people. But we're not really attracting that. It's imposed on us. So maybe you're surrounded by them to show you what you aren't. So, what were we talking about? Oh, right, the planets. Planets, quote unquote planets. Like, really, a planet? I'm not a planet. When all that shit happened, that trauma that people are trying to resolve in this world where they're like missing a mother or a goddess, the trauma where they're looking for a dad figure, a father figure, and they're like, where's daddy? Where's Sky Daddy? Think back. I have never, ever, ever lied to you. Ever. Ever. You can try to prove me wrong. Go ahead. And I hope you can. Because God help me, I hope I'm wrong about all this stuff I've been saying. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. They're all like, Father God, Father God. But you guys don't realize Father God has a wife. He respects his wife. Jesus Christ has a wife. He loves his wife. He would break eternity apart to bring his wife anywhere with him. And if he ever did anything wrong to his wife, it's to help her. Isn't it? You know, what the Holy Spirit kind of is? Kind of. Think of the phoenix. Think of the source of creation made something when it was the first thing in creation. Like, it's like, boop, oh, I'm in existence. What am I going to make? A child, a friend, someone to do this with, someone who can have my back, someone who always knows better, someone who will never let me down, something that will always show me the way, the North Star, the perpetual, the right thing to do, the moral compass, the daughter. But while Source is thinking all this, it's already thinking, it has foresight, it has hindsight, it has wants, needs, desires. It's going through all this stuff, right? But throughout all of it, it's manifesting and emanating the Holy Spirit of God through itself. Its entire core, its essence, its goodness, its love, its perpetual binding of all that is holy within itself. The aspect of life and death everywhere. The aspect of creation and destruction everywhere. The part of God that can be anywhere, at any time, all at once. It's the closest thing to the true source that you have. The Holy Spirit, the divine feminine. Which is why even any description of a divine masculine humanity has That masculine is more motherly than anything, isn't he? The man is the source of compassion, nurture, nourishment, simplicity, kindness, but also protection, the guardian, the rock, the stable, secure structure, you know, the man. But he cannot be that without the womb man who supports him, who clears the field, who harvests, who grows, who fights, who's the protector, the mother, the crone, the daughter, the one who stands up to the father and says, Daddy, this is wrong. You know, because the son won't do it. The son will say, Yes, Daddy, as you wish. The daughter will go, No, 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 Daddy, that's wrong. So the Holy Spirit, the divine feminine, is that aspect within everybody and everything that goes, and people are like, oh, no, we're going to ignore it. Well, look at your world. We all have. We all have. Now, are you going to let that trauma break you and make you and I mean this not offensively, are you going to let your trauma make you a bitch? Or are you going to let your trauma remind you that you're a goddess and a daughter of Gaia? Because if you're really a daughter of Gaia or a son of God, then nothing done to you is worthy enough to have you fall to your knees and cry. Is it? If you're a fucking Amazon and a man breaks your heart, you'll probably throw a spear into his chest, wouldn't you? If you're a goddess and a god is fighting you, what are you going to do? What god? If you're a mother and your husband's being an asshole to you, what are you going to do? Whoosh, treat me with respect or there's the fucking door. But we go through all this trauma here at the hands of invisible strings and we go, it's so painful. Do it again. I dare you. So you've been traumatized? Good. You've been abused? Good. Now, what choice do you make now? Goddess or little bitch? Because when people give us trauma, they give us this. And we can choose to cut ourselves with it perpetually and be like, oh, I hate my life. Or we can go, look at how I shine now with your fucking diseased world in my view. Now let me clean it up. Because I'm not here to fix your world. I'm here to show you what's broken. Because you can fix it yourself. So when you guys are like, oh, she's nitpicking, she's complaining, motherfucker, what am I nitpicking about? Your good behavior, your beauty, your kindness, your generosity to the world, the way you respect women and men, the way you raise children. What the fuck am I nitpicking? Your dumb ass behavior globally. And you're like, she's complaining. What am I complaining about? Oh, she's not letting go of her ex and the problems. Why? Because it was wrong what was done. And if I let that go, I'm letting God know you can fuck me any way you want. And I'm just going to keep saying, thank you, God. Fuck you. You're supposed to be God. Treat your children better. And then I'm the bad guy? That doesn't seem fair now, does it? Oh, right. You guys used the fucking Scarlet Witch to mock me, too. Ha! I haven't even seen Multiverse of Madness. Do you know how many people have said I've copied words from that movie? Motherfucker, why don't you go ask the CIA how many times I've watched Multiverse of Madness to know shit about it? Like, this is the most authentic you people have ever seen me, and you guys keep thinking I'm copying shit. You don't miss those people or places. And I say this to you with no offense. You miss who you were with those people and places. You miss how you felt with those people and places. You don't actually miss a lot of those people and places. Grandmas are different. We all miss our grandma, even our moms and dads. But there's a difference, isn't there? Because you're not really missing your ex or these people. You're missing your innocence in that time of your life where you looked at those people as those people. Correct? Because we were in love and in awe of the people we thought were supposed to take care of us. And then when they show us, they're just petty human beings. It shakes our faith in God, doesn't it? Why would God do this? Why would God do this? I was just a child. Why would God do this? That was my baby. Why would God do this? That was my husband. We had a deal. We had a contract. Why would God do this? Those are my teeth. I needed them. Why would God do this? I thought I have to transition for benefit, but I've just been decaying. Why is God doing this? Because you guys are doing this to yourselves. And I'm supposed to be here holding a mirror up to you and saying, why is God doing this to me? While you guys look at my face, but I'm looking at this fucking camera. And you guys are saying, I'm talking about me. Then why am I looking at this? You guys have projected on me and others so much, you forgot what you guys are supposed to be learning. You are the children of God. It doesn't matter if God has a dick or a vagina, both are broken. What does that tell you about God? We're all here to learn and love each other and learn how to get along. And you people are busy focused on fucking the 7 deadly sins still. God is broken because God, I mean, think about it, honey. Not in a bad way, but think about it. Everything in existence being conscious, including of the pain no one can ever comprehend, because it is God's pain. It's wrong. It's wrong how little compassion human beings have. You've seen my life on the fucking internet, and not more than 3 of you have reached out to help me. And you people wonder why God's cruel to you? This is how you guys act towards your own species. How's God supposed to help you? When God is in you and you guys are actively choosing with ego to do this to each other. And then to see it and say, oh, bitch, that's karma. Oh, bitch, that's what God does when God doesn't love somebody. God then yanked the teeth out her face because she lies so much. Oh, she's ugly and she has a witch nose because she casts spells so much. No, I don't. God loves me. Yeah, for real, man. Oh, they're a karmic partner. Oh, they're a narcissistic this. Oh, they're this, that. When I did it, how much did you guys mock me? But you guys do it every day. But when I do it, you're like, okay, but what are you doing? The same thing, right? So why is it that when I do it, I'm the bad guy? When you guys do it, you get a paycheck. Why is it when God does it, it's a test from the universe? When the devil does it, you're paying for karma. That seems broken to anyone? Does that seem messed up to anyone? The way you guys like to blame other things, the way you make shit up to blame other things, and then to keep yourselves in a two of swords and be like, oh, what do I do? The right thing, dumbass. I mean, could you even imagine what my life would have been like with $300 extra a month? Or if I had gotten to live a life with another boyfriend after Corey stole all my shit and God would have been like, oh, Corey did that to you? Here, I love you so much. Here's everything back and more. That door closed. Here's a fucking mansion. That guy stole the car. Here's a fucking jet plane. God didn't do that shit for me. God put me in a fucking retirement home to be raped. And you guys are like, you chose this. Excuse me? Oh, it's part of an initiation. Excuse me? Oh, it's karma. Excuse me? I don't know that book, but the belief in karma is a disease in humans, just like when they use hope to justify cruelty. Do you know how many of those mansions I owned and now they're unowned and I can't even get them back to turn them into fucking orphanages for people because they don't want to let me? It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. A lot of them belonged to me. A lot of them belonged to my partner. A lot of them belonged to our family line. And I'm denied access to it. Because apparently I'm not a tuxedo tie wearing, dick wielding, or, flinging my dick around my giant clitoris at people and being like, oh, look at me. I'm the son of God. And they're like, you can't have what's yours. You're not a boy. You're not living like a boy. If me lying to myself about who I am gives me the keys to a kingdom of a God who wants me to lie about who I am, I'd rather go live in a fucking cave than go be subservient to a God that wants me to lie about how he made me. Integrity. Sorry, it's instinctual. Like, and then you guys are like, oh, karma, negative behavior. I'm like, okay. Do you have sand in your vagina? Is that why you guys look like this when you talk about me? Yeah. You guys couldn't even handle it if I was a man. You couldn't handle it for 36 years of my life. You people threw yourselves at my fucking feet like you were whores with your legs up in the air 24/7. Like, you guys couldn't fucking handle me being confident and sexual and passionate and making money and being a father. You couldn't handle it. You're like, oh my God, how are we ever going to be that kind of a man? Break her. And you break me, now I'm more of a fucking woman than a lot of you have been. And whoops, you woke up Sophia in me, you dumbasses. Guess what happens now for the next 1,000 years? I'm not going anywhere. God's not going to let me go anywhere. And I'm just going to keep getting better and better and better. So you guys are fucked. Unless, you know, you start acting like God in form and start treating each other with some fucking respect. Instead of telling people like me we need to love ourselves more. You have no idea what the fuck you guys know about. Like, you know nothing about my life. Nothing. And then when I say that, you're like, oh, she thinks no one understands her. Well, of course you know. You didn't live my life. I can't understand your life, can I? I don't have a child. I don't have a car. I don't have a house. I don't have a husband. I don't have insurance. I don't have a paycheck. And when I say this, it's like, oh, she's projecting. Oh, she's delusional. Oh, she's crazy. Uh, but what are you doing? globally, collectively. I'm not talking about anybody. Like, there's literally no one in my mind, or I'm not thinking about anybody. Oh my God, honey, I am in fucking Wisconsin. I was in Lake Geneva in 2016, which is a beautiful part of Wisconsin. It's like Salem or something, like Salem, Massachusetts. It's fucking beautiful. And I've been wanting to be in Ireland my entire life. My first memory is being in a stone circle in Ireland with a bunch of people, and we were just sitting there. I love Ireland, man. You have no idea. If somebody ever said, "Here's a ticket, you can go anywhere you want, and here's some money for some land and a house, a house. Where do you want to go?" Ireland. Send me home. Ireland is my home. When we came here as the Tuatha the Danann, or whatever you guys called us, a few of us, when we came through the gates from the other places, the first place I stepped out in that other time, because the most recent time was in an Arctic Circle. I don't know how the fuck I ended up there. I really, like, I don't, that's a whole other story. But one of the first times was in Ireland. It was a cave somewhere, like something under a hill. It was beautiful, man. All of Ireland had an emerald canopy. It was like an island cocoon. It wasn't empty fields. It wasn't, pastures and all this stuff. It wasn't the emerald hills. It was the emerald canopy. I was raised in Germany for 10 years near Eschweiler, Berlin, Frankfurt, somewhere around there. And then we came to the United States in Chicago, and I've been in Wisconsin, close to Milwaukee, kind of, in a not so part of town. But my parents are in Illinois, and I don't know where Corey took off with all this stuff. I don't know if he's living with his mom again in Massachusetts with my things, or if he just next door somewhere. I mean, he's a fucking crazy stalker. I mean, he always finds me in every fucking lifetime. Every fucking lifetime. I can't hide far enough away from him. And he's like, son of a bitch. But in this lifetime, he done wronged me so bad. He done wronged me so bad that in this lifetime, I'm like, I don't care if you were an aspect of Jesus. I don't care if you're a clone. I don't care if you're Hades himself. In this life, I'm doing this on my own. You guys had a story about Sophia and why she left Celeste and did it on her own. This is why. Because in that realm, he pulled some shit like this. This is why in this reality, it's like this thorn in my side of like being betrayed by the partner I'm supposed to have, and I'm going off to do it on my own. Nobody asked why. It's because he did this. Well, now you have me. If you want to be friends, you can email me. You can hang out in these chat rooms and we can talk and shit. Because hopefully one day I'll be in Ireland. Oh, did you ever bless you too? Thank you. Did you ever see Belton a Cottage on YouTube? Oh my God, she's living the life I want to be living 100,000%. Leave me the fuck alone in my cottage and get the fuck away from me. Let me have my coffee with my little old lady friends and my cul-de-sac crew with our tea and our potions and lotions, just talking to birds. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to be your queen. I don't want to be your wife. I don't want to be your sister. I don't want to be your daughter. Just give me the fucking trees and leave me alone. Ugh. Oh, I will. I don't know when God will let me show up there, but if he cares about his daughter or his wife or his mother, I don't know which one I am anymore. I don't care. If he cares, he's going to send me over there before my birthday. Because I'm not going to spend my 42nd birthday alone in this apartment. And I'm not spending it in Wisconsin. And I'm not spending it with people who've lied to me and betrayed me. So I'm either leaving or I'm just going to be playing video games. I don't know what the fuck else to do. Because I can't even make demands. All I know is I cannot continue to keep putting up with this bullshit of not being paid and then being asked to bleed for the world. I can't do it. I'd rather go to Hobbit country. I love it, man. Even Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you play Lord of the Rings online, but you should. It's so fun. It's so relaxing. I have a little hobbit that I hang around in the Shire. Little hobbit lore master. And I just like putz around, like smacking wolves and bears and like decorating my house in the Hobbit, and like my little island I bought. I have a little island kin house or something. I don't know. Oh, the screen's doing it again. Oh, it's been an hour and 36 minutes. Thank you. When she wants to talk, dude, she comes out and she's like, "Get out the way, Will." And I'm like, "Listen here, sis, you get the fuck out the way." And she's like, "Move, bro." I'm like, "Listen here, sis. We share this." And she's like, "No, give it to me. I will talk to the world." And I'm like, "You fucking bitch, Sophie. At least fucking, like, fix yourself up." And she's like, "Nope." So I'm very well aware there's two of me in here. And one of us is crazy. You should. I don't really recommend a lot of them, but Lord of the Rings Online is, look at what they're doing. Look. You see these red lines? Look at that. And I touch it and they're gone. But I don't know. I don't know. I've had my dad try to fix it and he's like, "Oh, it's a loose wire." What the fuck? Then why does it only happen when they want to disconnect my service? What I think it is my system has been tapped. And whenever they're like doing shit to my computer while I'm using my computer, it distorts like this. The signal gets messed up. So I think that's what it is. Because I don't know if you can hear it, but you hear that clicking? Click, 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 click. That whenever that happens, yeah, that ticking. Whenever that happens, they're usually like doing something on my computer. And if let me see if it shows it now. I'll do the Control Alt Delete thing. But 17, it says I have 17 Google Chrome tabs. Where? There's Reiki, that's paused. A pick a card reading, that's paused. And that's it. Where is it? Can you see it? Right here. That's it. So explain to me how I have 17 fucking tabs open. You see? When I tell you they're fucking with my computer, my bank accounts, and everything else, don't tell me they're not. Here's fucking evidence. So I'm going to go and restart this computer. and then I'm going to track the thread back and send another EMP pulse at you, fucker. Have fun. Sweetheart, you in the chat, email me. Don't be alone. Like, I'm going to be in Ireland anyway. We may as well start being friends. 8:35 p.m. Sunday, October something. October 16th. So, I love you guys. I don't know how many of you are watching this because the chat says there's only nobody in here. Look, it says no one's in here and there's no likes, but there's 2 of us in here. What are you guys pulling? What are you guys pulling? Look, and it's even crazier now. And look. You see it? Look. What the fuck? I'm supposed to ask for help because I think I'm supposed to be learning how to receive help. But I don't know what help I need. So, since I have no problem asking for help, but I don't really get helped, I don't know what I'm supposed to ask you for. So, if you know what kind of help I need, that's like resources or a car or a website helps or business help or something, I'm open to receiving assistance. And if you guys are like intimidated to talk to me about something, please don't be, because I can feel that intimidation and it's really annoying. Like the intimidation you guys feel about wanting to talk to me is what irritates me by the time you get to me, because I can feel it. Honey, don't worry. I mean, I'm genuinely okay. The only reason I would even need help is just to go get to a doctor, and then to pay for the services. Other than that, I'm really okay. I love my peace and quiet. It would be nice to have, a place I can feel safe in. But whatever. They should. I mean, considering all the shit I've done for generations on this planet, I should at least have my own house, And a washer and dryer. Like, what the fuck, man? Daughter of God, bride of Christ, the divine feminine. And I'm sitting here like, do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Like, Daddy God, your baby's here. I need a car, a house, a dentist. I need some food. The fruit with seeds kind, not the genetically modified fruit that has no seeds. Can I have an acre of